Alright. I'm here in the shadows. I don't know what I was gonna say. That's not a good sign. My brain is fried. I didn't want to play a certain address. Hope you all are doing well. Couldn't stream last night. I wanted to, but had class all day from 1 in the afternoon till 8 at night. And then the night before that, I just spent another 5 hours just coding up my game. I couldn't think anymore. I was meant to help out a little bit today. It was just like, my brain didn't want to work. It was just like non-existent. Anyways, let's continue. Case 4. Case 4. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back.
The same knife?
Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Huh. Interesting. 19th February, 9:47 AM, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Hello.
Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naru?
No, not at all. Same here, brother.
It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms are so luxurious. I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night.
What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Burya, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other.
Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking.
In a lodging house in Japan, the sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year.
That sum of money, wow.
I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill.
Ugh, I really am sorry.
Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodgings straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less.
Ugh, London is a scary place. Good morning to you this early hour. I'm gonna change his voice. Good morning to you this very hour. Oh yes, well...
Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday.
Suzaru-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes. I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you.
And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Stromhard, Mr. Naru performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh, no longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome a young talent from such a remote eastern land. Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case? Already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
Oh, one sec. My dog wants in the room. Accidentally hit auto. Is that yesterday's trial ended unusually? Unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for?
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Just to make sure. Just to make sure you can hear me.
Oh, there's the remote. Because I do have my fan, I just noticed that, but I hope you don't hear it. Oh, no, not this. What am I doing? I'm derping. I'm derping. Doot, 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 doot. I think it's alright. Hello? I always lean to the side a little bit. I always wonder how I sound when I go like this. Well, like this, like this. I always wonder, because I always do that. Alright, let's continue. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have asked for a better defense. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naru, it's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth, and then the trial ended.
Well, you needn't let it trouble you up for a second longer. Sorry?
What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Wait, what? Magnus McGilded passed away immediately after following the trial.
No.
What? Mr. McGilded is dead? And the birds fly away? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. He was in that cabin? In that carriage? Oh. Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. Would require something in the range of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? Does the item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruto? Let's leave it for now. Look around again. Anything new? Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling.
And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by. In Japan, it's like a dream.
Yes, a very bad dream.
They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial system of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland.
What about Russia?
Why do you ask?
I was wondering about asking Lord Chief Justice how you'd say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think?
I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned.
Is this some kind of clock?
Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. Those gears are larger than anything you'd find on a steam locomotive even.
It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of theirs? The Lord Chief Justice, I mean, I think I read through this, but so...
Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they?
I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size. I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. There's actually something quite soothing about their presence rhythm. Well, their precise rhythm. Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room.
I believe they're suits of armor.
Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding the shrine gates.
No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, this suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know? And they roam around in the middle of the night.
Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Miss Sato?
This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask.
Where did you get that incredible tome? The red carpet.
This must be Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble.
It looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me.
I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naru.
It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here.
I know, that's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure.
But why did Mr. McGilded's death? I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the long trial concluded yesterday, There was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. Was that the voice I was just in the Old Bailey? And you'll presumably recall an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course, that was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No.
How could such a thing have happened?
How could such a thing have happened? Alright. That is being investigated as we speak, but already. The police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. That's awful. The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. The bailiff really needs to pay more attention.
How could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus.
Yep.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry? What inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who was Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded.
Oh, so we're not working on this. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... wow!
Mr. Naru means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old.
Oh god, I'm not good. Oh no. Wow, Suzato-san. Holy crap. Wait, let me take a deep breath. Whew. Alright. Wow, Suzato-san has such a way with words.
And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones.
The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believed I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple.
The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much, at least, is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he going to say before?
Does he mean...
Like the cases that we're working on that were meant, the victim, no, the person that's actually been, the accused is actually guilty, but we're trying to get him not guilty? I don't know. This is weird. The new case.
Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned?
Don't tell me. It's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died as yet. Wait, what? And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. No one has died yet? 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Huh. So the trial's tomorrow then.
Is everything alright?
Oh, yes, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trials was, well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer.
Oh, Mr. Naru.
Don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh, if the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I will not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant.
Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I thought he said advise... Wait, what? Okay. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naru. There is something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world worked so he could change out in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing.
Oh!
Another thing? Continue. On the way here on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do. Something very important? And what exactly would that be? He never had the chance to tell me. I suppose he would have... Oh, you're out of time. Well, thank you for the enlightening discussion. Well, I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
Mr. Naru, what's all this about? Mr. Osoki never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? So, I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what do you mean?
I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think?
Yes, you're right.
I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Fries? He's got some fries there. Ooh.
That's not him. That isn't him. What are you doing? Stop. He's up. No. Down. No. What are you dumb?
Right. He's got fries. They look delicious. Could we trouble you? How did that He shakes it and it's just infinite food? How'd you do that, sir? Shake it? What the hell? What is this magic? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Sounds like Phoenix Wright music. Okay. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm about to keep bumping. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eaten out of your hand, you know. But Suzaru-san told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man. A very busy man. Wow. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the officers there will be saying, Haven't seen a Gregson anywhere. Have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. All because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Is that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well.
I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruto, a defense lawyer. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant. So... It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It's a unseasonably fine, I grant you. London's winter don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable. How did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson. Tobias Gregson. I'm from Scotland Yard.
Gregson? Inspector Gregson?
What's the matter with Suzaru-san? Does this detective name mean something to her? Well, I have to present my thing, but still. 44, not too bad. But he's stern and single-minded in his approach and a great lover of fish and chips. Yes, boy. Ah. It's hard to remember all the voices, it feels like.
Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson?
I was. Oh, made me sad. Oh.
You're acting like you know.
Oh no, you're acting like you know this man, Mrs. Zato, but he's a London detective.
Oh, I do know him very well, in fact.
Very well?
Yes, he features prominently in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Rants Magazine?
That's right. Inspector Gregson and Sholmes, Mr. Sholmes, enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry.
Really, you rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional, like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time.
Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words.
Is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Wow. That's his highest praise?
Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he is not. Thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit that, to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful. No, it's not. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors?
Are you quite sure?
He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head, stuff like that.
Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you?
Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Yes.
Wow, eggs is eggs?
I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work.
Oh dear, perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people.
The case. So, about the case that Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. Didn't he say no one has died yet? Because that's what I keep thinking now. Because he says... Oh, we can't go back up? Okay. As far as we're concerned, at the yard, it couldn't be simpler.
Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated.
I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in hospital unconscious. Oh, okay.
That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind?
Suppose you would have finished whoever it was off with a Cesaro takedown, would you?
That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naru.
Brace yourself, Ryu. You've angered her angered her now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit?
Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question?
Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There is no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor has been assigned to the trial. Tomorrow is Lord Baroque Van Zeeks.
Again?
No! Sounds like you've heard of him then.
Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zeeks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself.
The Reaper of the Bailey. Oh, you're all screwed. Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. Zeeks? I still don't know. Who we faced in court only yesterday.
Mr McGilded told us about him before the trial, didn't he?
When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. Wait, what was his voice? I know every single detail. In every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused have been damned. This Reaper of the Bailey, this nickname, I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it?
Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Naru has secured a verdict of not guilty.
Ha! And what of it?
Oh, well, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant.
No, you really don't have a clue, do you?
What do you mean?
What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead.
Ah.
Magnus McGilded came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you?
What are you saying?
Look, if Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick it on anyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that?
Right, well, I filled you in as requested and I'm very nearly out of chips. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there.
It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place.
That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself.
You've branded him a criminal already?
He's as good as shaking like a leaf in a cell, he is. It'll give you a good chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way.
Inmate 53. Thank you.
Toodaloo. Toodaloo.
So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naru? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for...
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage too.
But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in a cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny.
So,
If I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. And I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try it, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help?
did you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant.
Thank you. So then, shall we?
Yes! Let's go.
Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. All right, continue. 10. Well, where do we actually go first, to be honest? Let's go here then. What happened to the bike? Strand Street. Oh, I didn't see what the time was. Hello, hello, hello. So this is where it happened, Briar Road.
Ah, look, Mr. Naru. Look at the regulation metal helmet. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable.
The men of the Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know. Mr. Naru... But Mr. Naru, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come to this... but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet.
What? The helmet?
Hehe, of course. I have to try one on one day.
What? Well, I hope your Hattie dreams come true. I don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere. Shall we see if we can sneak past the investigation scene of the stabbing? I can't read. Shall we see if we can sneak past the investigation scene of the stabbing? Oh.
Why should we sneak?
I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull will crack in two, I'm sure.
Oh no, an English bobby would never do such a thing. This is a land of gentlemen, you know?
Well, let's leave this place. I don't like this one, I reckon. I just want to see this bike. That's the first thing.
Oh, British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
Seems someone. Okay. Wow. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well.
The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me.
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
Okay. This building?
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here.
We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Jesus, that's a bit of a burn. So this side? Okay. Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Wait, what?
Are you sure they're windows?
Yes, but they're all filled with bricks. Filled in with bricks.
Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment.
There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. What the hell?
Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place.
That's suspicious. Pretty suspicious. It could be what's her name that we met earlier.
Do you see?
Or do you see all the black smoke rising from the chimneys over there?
It says here that in Great Britain many people heat their homes in winter using coal.
The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan were on top of the bathhouse. Do you think some of those houses could be on fire?
Not at all.
Well, even so, that much thick smoke billowing up to the heavens is surely going to turn the whole sky black sooner or later.
Gosh, you may be right about that.
What's this? The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with the dense fogs as well, everything looks hazy.
Well, it is known as Foggy London Town.
I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built though.
Aha! Yes, that must be the Crystal Tower. It's being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition.
It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? I can't even begin to imagine it. I think that's the roads. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks.
It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow.
I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead.
Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naru, and dressed all in black. I worry coachman might not see you and you could be flattened by horses.
Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Ah! Ow! Ow! That hurt, man! What the hell? You didn't see me? No, you were invisible, man. I didn't see. You had to get all the horses. No, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Snowman. That's the first thing I want. Oh, the horses.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good story.
No, 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 I wasn't serious. Jesus. Oh my god. Are you right, Cesaro? Anything just to get on to... Oh my lord. Okay, no comment. Let's look at the snowman then.
Hehe, what a delightful snowman.
Didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though.
Oh, it has a scarf, look.
You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? Would it? It's covered in snow. True. True, true. True, 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 true. True. Okay, do I speak to... Doesn't matter. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wandered too close, we'll be clapped in irons.
I think perhaps you are being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern.
Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on.
Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure that's... I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all.
Ugh. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred.
Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it?
That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you for this doing here? Oh, we just investigating. Just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustached fella from Japan, are ya? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an in. Go on. Oh my lord, he shooed us away like rats.
Yes.
Oh no,
He shooed us away like rats.
yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think.
What a disappointing experience.
That's sad. So there's nothing we can do here? No. Oh. Wait, what? I swear I saw them. Maybe it was ticked. Dude, I am tripping out. What the hell? Looks like we just examined everything. Cool. Whoever lived in this building is pretty suspicious. It's like... I only noticed that when they said it. I didn't notice it, to be honest. So we can't go anywhere? Really? I don't know what else we could inspect. I can't really look at anything else. Like, there's no other person we can speak to. There's no other person we can go to. There's no Mr. Holmes at the roof. Alright, we got everything. By the looks of it, it looks like we looked at everything. Alright. Let's move to prison. Oh, that is creepy. There's a letter on the table, it looks like. 19th February, local prison cell 9. So these are British prison cells.
Oh, they're very ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon.
Yes, having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls.
Oh, don't, Mr. Naru. You're making it seem worse.
Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark at the back there I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 52, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding back in the cell or enter your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Call me by a number? It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer.
Mr. Naru?
What?
Mr. Naru, what? What do you think is going on here?
I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Wait, what? Hello? Excuse me, who? Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. Why does he do that sign? Oh, what? Is he? What's he doing? He's playing with. He touches his mustache, sure. And then his bow tie, his mustache. He's twitching his eye. Bow tie, and he did one to his heart or something. His napkin. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. Right, so could I ask you who exactly... There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it, you're a ghost. Don't try to... You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it, you're a ghost. I don't know. A ghost?
What the hell is wrong with him? We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese by any chance?
This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all.
Oh my god. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most momentarily moving moment. What is happening? Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Strongheart, assigned to us, would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? What compassion my fellow countrymen show. Dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon.
A first-class lawyer?
Oh dear. Oh dear, there's been something of a misunderstanding here.
I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell what's happened? Why have you been detained as a suspect, for example?
Yes, I can and I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent. What is this guy?
I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy.
Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer. As you said, my name is Ryunosuke Naruto.
And I am Naruto's son's judicial assistant. Susato Mikitaba. I can't even say my name. What is wrong with me?
I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Let's present our badge. Yes! The symbol of one of our great empire's first late lawyers. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me. Oh no, no, sorry, that wasn't why I was showing it to you. Oh, okay. Then why else would you show it to me that? Then why else would you show me that? Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. I'll show it to him again. Yes! There's one of our great friends. There's been of course you. No, I'm sorry. No, why else would you show me that? Oops, in hindsight, that wasn't probably the best idea. Why does it inspect the thing? Just want to see. I'm pretty sure it's just going to say the same. The lawyer's name is embroidered inside here. Look, Kazuma Asogi. This was his bear box. He had
his heart set on the studies to Great Britain.
We'll show you what, we already read it. He lost his life before he even had the chance to at the plays. Yes, it was just a strong sense of his first and gunning. Okay, cool. I wish Kazuma. Asogi, Mr. Asogi. Yes, that's right. The scouts are restoring fairness to show that all are treated equally. They're warding of those who enter a courtroom without an impartial mind. But if they're marked with offense, it would be more auspicious. They're weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. Suzuki Natsume. A scholar sent to Britain by a Japanese government to further study his study of English. He is a defendant accused of attempted murder. I like his teeth. Suzuki Natsume. Suzuki Natsume, son? What an unusual name. Call me Suzuki, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias?
That's right, Miss Naru-san.
No! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku?
Oh, and haiku? That really reminds me of home.
Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago... I should do a different voice. A year ago? No, because he's not British. A year ago... No. A year... A year ago? No, because it's British. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. No, but that sounds too similar. A year ago? I don't know, that's... feels too similar to the other ones. A year ago? I don't know. Yes, a year ago. It sounds still British though.
A year ago.
I don't know.
I thought I would study English.
A year ago, I was told to do. I was joking. A year ago. Oh, a year ago, I was told to. Still feels British. I'm trying to like go higher, but like every time I do, it just makes it sound more British. A year ago, I was told to study English. A year ago, Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. Let's try that. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this! It's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had interest in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh.
But just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No.
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, yes, I could. Have understood that's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable.
I see.
Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I attended a black piece of paper. White words on white washi.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so often I'm told. And often like to be told, it seemed. And often like to be told, it seemed. I don't know, we'll see how that goes.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Saseki-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder! Murder? Oh no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was dead with a knife right before my eyes.
Before your eyes? You mean he saw the attack?
I didn't see anyone. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what? If I'd seen a person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear, it seems the case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Oh, why me? Why me? Why did the silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. Irritatingly inconvenient. So Suzuki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about the case.
About the case. It was an accursed evening just after the snow had started to clear with heavy with fog. I can't do a voice with that. I don't know. I've been to the bookshops to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. I'm trying to like close my lips and do this. Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too. As I was walking around the accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her... Oh. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh my, he's shaking up.
How terrible!
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my cursed lodgings. Why? That's not good. They all say it was shamefully new to run away like that.
Tell me, Saseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know these fair-haired English and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. A young woman unknown to Suzuki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great.
So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
Conundrum. Conundrum. What do you mean, Zada-san? What's the conundrum?
Well, if what Suzuki-san had just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did. I don't know. I'm still not sold on the voice. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Oh, you! What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought a little loudly.
Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Suzuki-san actually come to be arrested?
Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Oh yes, she's right. It was him. The cursed great detective. He led the police to me.
All it's bad luck.
A cursed great detective? Could it be? I shall never forget the man's name as long as I live. Let's try a different voice. This is naughty laugh and self-proclaimed greatness. Black, big-headed, Bugsy Bone? May you be cursed until the end of your days, Airlock Sholmes. I think I just have to do a regular voice with him. I knew it.
Mr. Sholmes?
Airlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a silver of hard cheese when some man suddenly burst through the floor. son, burst to the floor. No, because it doesn't seem to have an accent. So burst to the floor. 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 But he doesn't sound like, he doesn't fit his name. Burst to the floor. Burst to the floor. Burst to the floor. That's the judge. They started shouting at me. This is the police. Put the weapon down. Yet it was a tin silver, and yes, it was hot. But I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. Sort of like that accent, it's not that bad. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That's Sherlock Holmes. It's actually Sherlock Holmes. He's English. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London.
Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce whereabouts apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak-spot kitten of a man. I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion at this time.
Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing the question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish foreign film flummery. Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point. But my mind went blank, and I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here.
Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
I'm fine? He's not fine now. His eyes twitching.
Mr. Naruto Esquire!
Oh, you can just call me Naruto. And when we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. Oh, yes, alright, yes, they've really got me. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. A student? I have defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means.
Oh, Naru-san.
I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm sort of a locum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, who do you mean?
The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me.
Goodness, why? Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it sounds as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm
just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway.
That's awful.
They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's countries and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native language. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
Suzuki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being.
What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance. I'm sure. Oh yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you. Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. We should be going then, Mr. Naruto-san. We have a case to prepare for.
I'll show him a badge.
Yes, the symbol of our great empire's fairest great lawyers. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side, you'll defend me.
Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't why I was showing it to you.
Then why else would you show me that?
Oops, in hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. I like that. That's silly, but I like it. Is that everything? You can't examine. Nope. No. Do we just go back? Yep. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? I'm gonna forget everyone's voices, it feels like, because it's just like, now I feel like I've forgotten his voice. I want to commit to all these voices, but it's just like, my brain is not working as well. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
This isn't... this music, I thought it's like Phoenix Wright vibes. This isn't on the tourist trail, and as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So you've been to the holding cells then? What made you think of the criminal? Wait, what? No, what made you of the criminal?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Ugh, the stone-cold air of rejection.
Take heart, London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air.
That makes it worse somehow. I'll give you a badge. Inspector Gregson, could I show you this? Am I supposed to know what that is? I've never seen that insignia before. It's worn by the defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession. In other words, it's a worthless trinket in here in Greece. Oh no, it's very important to me. It shows my spirit. An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself. I'll have you know. Oh.
Don't give up, Mr. Naru. It's too late.
Oh, it's too late. He's crushed my spirit already. Oh no. Oh no. Do we have to inspect all of these again? let's just have a look at this side just to make sure nothing too out of the ordinary. The music is vibing. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, my phone is ringing. Give me a sec. That actually scared me. Give me a sec. That low-key scared me, but I'm back. Hopefully, I don't get any more calls. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Just watching my phone just to make sure it's all working, because I use that to watch over the stuff. Looks like it's fine. I don't know. Scotland Yard.
Tell me about the Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the police.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part. Seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. God dang, I feel like I'm gonna just burp a million times. Take a deep breath. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his study of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does. Goes around and rouses all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yup, wraps their windows and with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. God dang, I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me see. 20 miles, that's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama?
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas lamps, street lamps.
Oh my!
And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well?
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men killing over from time to time, I admit.
I'd always dreamed of wearing one of those helmets as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. About the case. It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it that the lady's still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital. I've never said she was a lady. The truth is, unless she comes round pretty smartest, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Wait, what? Okay. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects to the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
The local map has been entered onto the street map of the local area, showing the victim where the victim was found. Anyway, so here, Briar Road. Why is this one? Okay, so where this, and he probably would have ran. Okay. Anyway. As far as we know, there was no one on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming to not have seen anyone else around, but
just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can't be sure that nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can't be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have two very reliable witnesses, no less.
Ah!
It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously couldn't see them. There were witnesses now? If he couldn't see them... Wait, what? So the witnesses could see him, but he could not see the witnesses. What? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife. And the man's was one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Ah!
A policeman? That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them bang in the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So they'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Hairlock Shums. What are you bringing him up for? Oh. Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsumi who may have mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle!
Ah,
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
he's a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble!
Ah!
Ever seen this before? Oh yes, that's Rand's magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals?
The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go into the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely? Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's... Okay. That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reasoning he's taking an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You will have to ask him yourself, or at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. Woo! We still haven't even inspected the scene. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. They're gone.
Mr. Naru, can I make a suggestion?
Oh yes, what is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
Speak with who? By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly.
look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you it was simply not my... I assure you it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address. Even. So how...
It's Baker Street.
How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find our way there before Cesaro-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Oh, I love you. I love you, Sholmes.
Wait.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
Oh, we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. That's everything. Where did the police go? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, all the police just disappeared while we're here. This is a little bit itchy. Let's present this. Thank you again for this. Don't mention it. I had someone at the yard fish it out for me, but in the end I didn't need it. Oh? Well, the case could hardly be simpler, could it? I don't need a map to work out what happened. You can throw it away when you're done with it. Ugh, cold. Let's present this again. Aww. I love his fish and chip bag. It's infinite. Infinite food. I want that power. A new location has been added. "21 Baker Street, the home of..." Let's see, where's that? Baker Street. Calabish Road. Mishan and Raya. So we're not near. Let's move to Sholmes' suite.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
Oh my!
19th February, 12:53 p.m. Sholmes' suite. What on earth are some of those things? So this is where the great detective makes his living. My dog is snoring. Wait. It feels surreal to be here somehow. What the hell? What the hell? Is it as described in the stories, Mrs. Otto?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Cesaro-san?
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villains relentlessly as she disappears into the fog dawn until London Street. Oh, the thrill of it! The romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naru?
Oh, I suppose I can. Yes.
So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me.
Ah. She's obsessed. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me! Is anybody home?
Oh, do we have a visitor?
I knew it.
Hello. Is it a big news case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello. Wait, aren't you?
Oh, how rude of me. Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. I'll go make some...
No.
I'll go make some tea at once. Phoenix. Oh, how rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once.
Yeah. I'm sure that's the same girl. Mrs. Otter, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the king of the Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The king of Bavaria?
King Wilhelm Gosrich Sigismund von Ornstein, of course.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a second and look over there.
The tea's brewed, and I've freshly baked a cake as well. Ah, it's you!
I knew it. Suzada-san recognizes her too.
There you are. Phoenix! Phoenix!
I don't know, I'm trying to think like a deeper female voice.
Ryu! And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, and good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Boy, you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Well, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragment yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner. Try blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
You don't even know her. No. Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley?
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Really? Did she deduce all those things, did you think? Do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Shelm's suite? Oh, silly me! I haven't introduced myself, have I? Ta-da! It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley.
Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
Degree medicine in order of popular series and short stories. What's the matter with Suzato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruto, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, Suzato Mikutaba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie.
Oh no.
Lovely, Susie. Runo. Got it. Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
Well, let's save, because I don't think I've saved for a while. I think I just have to overlap the first one now. Bang. Alright. Let's present our armband. Iris, could I show you this?
Oh, how exciting. What is it? Tell me all about it.
Oh, actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind.
Why would it?
Well, I suppose it wouldn't mind.
Tell me. I want to hear everything.
This hasn't gone according to plan. Actually, I didn't even look at her age. Oh, 10! Oh, she's young. I thought, okay, never mind. This hasn't gone according to plan. I thought she was like 40. I don't know why. What? I want to examine some of those things. God dang. What is all of this? What is all of this? What is this? What on earth is this huge over-the-top machine?
That's the great analytoscope. Analytoscope. It can analyze anything, really anything at all. That's absolutely incredible. It's one for the Hurley's inventions. It took him a whole year. He said it would help him with his investigations. What sort of things has he analyzed with it? Do you know? Well, actually, he hasn't used it for anything yet. Oh.
Why not?
Apparently, on the evening he finally completed it, it suddenly occurred to him. I don't actually have anything I need to analyze. Oh dear. How about you, Rono? Do you have anything you would like to analyze?
The only thing that springs to mind is this machine itself. The music is just, I like it. The papers on the floor, the chair, the little skull over there, the violin. Ah, I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, is it?
Of course it is! Mr. Shelms is renowned for his violin playing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. It's often explained in the stories. It's inspirational. Mr. Naru, inspirational. I immediately started playing the vokoto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find.
What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London.
Oh yes, well, Papa was beaming when I asked him if we could buy me one. But after a while he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house. So now it's merely an ornament in my room.
That must have been an awkward conversation. Second rate strings. Oh, apparently, I think that's another one for looking at the violin after the Wilson stories, I think it said. Let me double check. I recall it for... Oh no, for episode 5. Episode 5. Great Ace Attorney 2. 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 And Great Ace Attorney 2. Okay. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. I need to pay attention a lot to the stream if there is anything or any events. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
I keep telling Hurley not to cram so much on these shelves.
Good advice.
He wanted to look something up in one of these books a while ago, but it was so tightly wedged he couldn't get it out. So he went and bought a new copy instead.
What? Oh my god, I can't even read. He couldn't even take out the book, so he had to get a new one. What a legend. Look at that tea. Delicious. What's this? I do like this fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Lingering beside the fire and watching the flames flicker and dance in the grate. Ah, it's so relaxing.
You can't relax. Not when there are so many interesting things on the mantelpiece. Oh, it just as it was described in the stories.
It is?
Yes, exactly. Inside the Persian slipper example. Oh, my chocolates for 11ness.
What?
Ah, my chocolates for 11s. 11s. And transfixed by that large jackknife. Is my shopping list for the market.
Oh.
Oh, it's not quite how I remember it being described in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Poor Zada-san. She looks crushed.
No! You got it wrong! Haha! You loser!
The table all together. Okay. Oh.
Ah, that's my blackboard where I drawing ideas.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter? What does that mean?
Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naru?
I'll come back to that blackboard later.
A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing man, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an interesting collection.
This is the first time in my life I've seen a lonely old shoe displayed as an ornament.
Oh, those are old mementos that Hurley has collected from his past cases.
Really? Even the bust?
Yes, that's right. When the mood takes him, he likes to throw it on the floor and smash it to dust.
Wait, what? The poor defenseless emperor? Mr. Sholmes destroys it?
Yes, and then he buys a new one.
You make it sound like he has the temperament of an insane sculptor.
Ah, how intrinsically bohemian of him.
Sounds crazy to me. Extremely crazy to me. Okay. I was looking at that blackboard. So much to look. So much to look. What is this? What a beautiful English tea set and so neatly arranged.
It's a favorite pastime of mine. A cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Tea made of herbs? That's right. I grow all sorts of herbs in the garden, so I can experiment with different blends. One moment, don't go away. I'll brew a pot of the special blend I came up with earlier today.
Oh god. She looks delighted. I only hope it's safe to drink.
It's poison. You're gonna die today.
Shit. It's like the honey on it. It's a charming little white shelf and full of charming little bottles too.
Oh yes, but don't touch any of those. They might explode.
Oh my, explode?
Are they exotic chemicals? Do you use them for exciting experiments? Yes, indeed. And as Hurley always say, chemistry is an explosive science.
Sorry?
I agree. A single discovery can trigger an explosion of innovation all around the world.
Or perhaps he just meant it literally. Either way, to know, do not touch any bottle that belongs to Iris. That's a huge typewriter. What on earth is that big black lump over there?
Ah, the fascinating thing is called a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. And wizardly quick too.
Oh, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting. And me, but I also have a computer. I actually tried, I don't know if it was like a good quality typewriter in the past, but I actually typed on the typewriter for a little bit, and it just, I don't know, I think I was just horrible at it, it felt like. Or maybe like it was just like worn out, like it's worn down and I couldn't type anything on it, like I tried to write a sentence and it was just weird. It was bizarre. Like very, very bizarre. But I think, cause like when I pressed, I actually don't remember. It was like a couple of years ago, but it just, I don't know. I couldn't write out like a proper sentence. Like I wanted to say like hello, I am here or something like that, and it was just like hello, I here that something like that. It was just all jumbled. I couldn't even do it. It looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. It seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Oro, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have a keen eye on you, don't I? I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Oh, that chest contains some of my most valuable things.
And that smile tells me you're not going to give us any clue about what there are.
Nope.
If she was a lot older, I would have just used like an inappropriate joke, but because she's 10, nope, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. Nope. I actually thought she would be like, I don't know, 30 or 20, not 10. I mean, she looks tiny, but like, I play Final Fantasy 14 and you have Lalafels and they don't look like 10 to me. Did I present this? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's fast forward. Let's save, because we did a lot of inspecting. Let's save. Yeah, let's do it. 2 hours been going. Good. That's alright. Let's do the back. That's the same thing. There's a couple cards and a map on that back, on the back of the right side, but I don't think that's got any importance. Iris, it was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. That's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you very much.
Wow, I lost that voice for a second.
Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Yes, yes.
What is happening to my... Give me a sec. Okay.
Oh, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
Oh my god.
Like this? Like this?
Yes.
Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Jeannie? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So he found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that child-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
This girl is dangerous.
Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly.
Hurley?
Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Holmes? Well, I'd expect you'd find out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with the partner, a roommate.
Your roommates? At 10.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at least, this year. 10 at last, this year.
Well, what of your mother and father? Oh no.
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. Wonder what the story is there. She seems happy.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, go ahead, Suzy. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine? Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness! Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I just put it in the middle of typing. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes. I'll let you on a secret. If you like, I'm going to call the latest adventure the Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I've always changed. Of course, I've always changed one or two details in the stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Shom's first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say, are these stories about Mr. Shums that are published in Rand's magazine are all written by me? Yes, my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susanna-san's getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I'm a doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But, Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the story to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does. Yes.
Poor Susanna-san. She looks like her whole world just fallen apart. Has just fallen apart. Your deductions just now. About before.
Yes, what's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean?
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted, although it's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. Wait, what? Oh, shikes! First of all, I already knew that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you are unaware of London's court affairs.
The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I?
And then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah! They used those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see? And I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at our local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known the trial is tomorrow? Well, having been barely been home for a few hours yesterday, Ellie solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bowling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume.
Now Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Ellie caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his nose with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
Oh my god, I like that.
Wow. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery.
Well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man, will you? Won't you, Iris? Please.
The case of the Japanese man. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying?
Yes. Hurley just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to this crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man? Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt.
Suzeki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all, but it seemed there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. There was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police. And what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Ugh, Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh. Oh my god, my voices feel like I'm about to die.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
Oh god, he's dying.
Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire.
Oh god.
That's why.
Oh god.
That's why they can't afford to spend too much time on investigating the case and trying trying the criminals in court.
I think I might have to call it soon. Oh my god, it's... Woo! It's...
Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's harsh reality of the working of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Suzuki-san. Okay. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Shams is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about the case as well.
Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsumi, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Nuts. Oh, May? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well,
I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Do you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Iris's postcard has entered the courtroom. A card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back of Iris.
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem."
I just want to have a look. This is a 5-shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a crown. Yes, and you can train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just a single one.
Iris must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world.
How much is a 5-shilling, by the way? What's it really worth?
Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could possibly eat in a whole month.
That's greasy. The address, the flowers? That wouldn't be a problem. Iris's little handwriting is adorable, isn't it?
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to show. I trust that won't be a problem?
Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is ominous. There's no room for sentiment there.
I'm sure it's simply the way you're interpreting it, Mr. Naru. Anyway, I do hope the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it.
You don't think it would just make him munch piping hot chips until steam comes out of his ears, do you?
Well, that wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome.
Well, my voice is about to... I feel like I'm about to lose it, but I don't feel it. Oh, wait. Yep.
Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Man, and I'll be making more special blends of tea. Come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naru, it's back to the scene of the crime.
So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the man of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene of a crime with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Oh my god, whoa, that is... To be continued. That is... Oh, my voice. Oh, jeez. Maybe I do need to call it. God dang. Iris's voice is draining. Oh my lord. That killed me. That felt for like 20 minutes. Oh, Jesus. I just need to spit water. 19th February, 2:38 p.m., Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with the investigation.
Perfect. Let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at the silver tip Iris gave us for him. Oh, there he is. That was quick. Still nothing new. Nothing new. Oh. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. It's gonna sound silly, but I don't remember his voice. Hey, how's it going? Hey. Something like that. Let's do this. Okay. Oh no! Oh, if you just hold something. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Card from the inspector with a message on the back of Iris. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say that I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk with a pair of foreign cadabouts. That's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Ugh, don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee. That's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see you mean.
That's right. For the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them vividly.
Of course, her using my name without my say so does make me the butt of a plot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then? Eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that he won't be a problem, it says. Well, it's obviously not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of the Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Wait, what? The little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just right over there, look. That house? On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle's propped up. What about the windows?
That is nearby indeed.
If I remember correctly, rightly, the landlord is Mr. John Gary Deb. Well? Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? Wait, what? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then, and long live her ladyship.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely.
Oh.
That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history.
Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around it. We already went through that.
According to the Inspector Wilson, that's the house where Mr. Natsumi has lodgings.
Just across the road from where the incident took place, I see. It must be awful for Suzuki-san getting caught up in something like this in a foreign land. Okay. Might have to just get some water. The new location has been added. This is going to be nerve-wracking. Mr. Natsumi's lodgings. What the hell? A giant bullet? Oh, okay. Wow.
May I help you?
I don't know. That's I want to keep that to Iris.
May I help you?
Ah, yes. Would this be a residence of Mr. John Gary Deb?
Indeed it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruto.
Miss Naruto is representing Mr. Seki Natsumi. I believe he takes lodgings here.
What the fuck was that face? What was that?
We would be very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Gary Depp.
Did you see that, Mrs. Otto? That was a real-life English maid. Give me 1 sec. I might get some water quickly. I think I might actually call it. I think my voice is just starting to feel a little bit weird. Like, Anyways. I'll continue this. Alright. Yeah, anyways. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. I might even stream some NBA. We'll see how it goes. Iris's voice just did a number on me. I might have to find another one or just
Turn it down, turn it down.
I don't know. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. We'll see if I stream some NBA, then I'll do so. But yes, I'll see you all later. Peace. In like a few minutes, that is.